In our world today, we're increasingly globalized, things are moving faster and faster.
We all walk around with the internet in our pocket every day.
There's a downside to this technology and you need to be aware of it.
The new forms of interacting create new opportunities for evil.
You need security in healthcare, you need security related to management and risk assessment.
Virtually, everyone can be affected.
The Center for Information Assurance and Joint Forensics Research was founded with the goal of advancing digital forensics, understanding of how to deal with cybercrime, and to build interdisciplinary programs across UAB and with our partners worldwide to enhance the ability to put a stop to cybercrime and to advance other ideas related to cybercrime prevention and also forensic areas.
What the center is about is engaging in research and development, but also engaging in educational opportunities as well as community outreach.
In order for the center to scale, we found that the best way to organize ourselves is into 8 areas or 8 core competencies. We call those 8 areas our pillars. The first example is in information assurance. It's part of the name of our center and it's one of our key pillars. In information assurance, our goal is actually to show people through both research and development and concepts and publications and outreach how to make their information systems safer.
Some of the work that I do relates to humans and security. So how, for example, human users perform with respect to security operations, why they fail, and what we can do to make this better. So, so here you really not only need to understand the computer science, but you also need to understand the human aspect, which sort of touches back to psychology. We also do a lot of work on small devices, small device security ranging from, for example, this tiny RFID tag to mobile phones. We are looking at real problems that affect real users and potentially everyone.
The center's pillar, called cyber, is all-encompassing regarding digital crime. We worry about attacks on critical infrastructure, we worry about attacks on mom and pop businesses and everything in between.
As we're looking at various types of crime, the evidence often involves digital evidence, whether or not the crime itself could be categorized as a cybercrime.
Cyber is a vast area that incorporates results from DNA forensics and digital forensics, but it does more. It's about finding out who the bad guy is and helping law enforcement and companies put that bad guy out of business.
As a home consumer, when you get a warning that says that was a bad site, you shouldn't go there, that very well could have come from the work that happened in our lab. When your bank account is protected because a criminal can't get to that bank anymore, it could very well be because that bank has received notice from us of how that criminal works so they can protect them.
Intelligence analytics is both the art and the science of making sense of chaos.
We worry about things that happen before a potential criminal comes to a keyboard and after he or she leaves the keyboard.
It's not content, it's context. The ability to take the information that is out there and make some sense of it.
We are gathering all this information and mining that information or understanding how that information is useful. That's where natural language processing helps, because we can process that information, try to identify events or important aspects of those interactions with human interactions that are important.
We have a forensic science pillar that's bringing together the chemistry and the biology and all of the different aspects of the forensic science.
It actually turns out that in many cases there are cross-cutting areas that we need to address that include both the DNA type evidence and the computer evidence. So forensics has evolved from being a laboratory science to being a laboratory science and a computer science area.
My pillar is workforce development. What that revolves around is educational programs and job training for the next generation of workers that are desperately needed in an information-based economy.
We've got cybercrime jobs, cyber intelligence jobs, information assurance jobs. There's a critical shortage of these kind of people. And so we're working in the workforce development area to make sure that our graduates are not only meeting the academic requirements, but they're actually going to have jobs because the people out in the business world have helped us to understand what is it they need in these people.
The experience that the center has brought to me as a student at UAB has been invaluable. By being at UAB and having this training and this program, I have law enforcement agencies talking to me, I have government agencies talking to me, private businesses. The possibilities are endless.
We also have geospatial imaging, our newest pillar.
It's a great tool because you can capture things in 4D that's change over time. So we can look at landscapes, we can look at whether it's troop movement, whether it's places where insurgents might hide out. We can use this innovative new technology to help think of these global issues, to deal with issues of security. You know, I think of what I do, and people don't think that archaeology is a significant security issue, but it is. Archaeological site looting, a lot of people don't know this, after drug running and gun running, is it's the number 3 thing that's funding insurgency activity and crime cartels all over the world.
And we have healthcare informatics.
Protection of healthcare information is as critical as protection of banking information. What we have now is a huge increase in the adoption of electronic medical records. The ability to leverage what is happening in non-healthcare areas is critical.
Recently, we decided to add data sciences, or as it's sometimes called, big data, as a pillar of our center. Many of the things we do involve massive quantities of data, their analysis, and their fusion.
I feel that this area of research has a huge impact on our everyday lives. We need to make sure that if we are mobile, our data will be safe. At the same time, as data is being stored in the cloud or being processed in the cloud, we need to make sure that that's also secure.
We have the unique capability to address all things forensic.
Having a center that actually touches all our elements of life, basically, from a fraud, privacy, security perspective, is absolutely critical.
Being in the room with that much brain power is really amazing.
All of the forensic disciplines intermingle with each other when you're trying to do an investigation. And that's one of the things that we're trying to stress for our students. If there's a difference between information security and computer forensics, but there are things that we all have in common. And that's the kind of interdisciplinary graduate we're putting out.
One of UAB's strengths historically has been our ability to form centers that span departments and schools, and to use those centers to solve real-world problems. So we think that this is a model for how we should continue to go forward, to look for these centers that are based on their ability to really approach real-world problems, to meet the demands that society has right now, and therefore to train our students in a manner that will really assure that they're able to get the best jobs possible.
The thing that excites me most is that the students, when they graduate, go on to have fantastic careers.
It's invigorating. It's just motivating to keep pushing the boundaries of what we can achieve and keep dreaming about what else can we do, where else can we prevent bad things from happening.